So what's the big deal? Why do we have to be aware of God all day? And aren't we already aware of God if we're Christians? Aren't we like always responsive? Don't we tell God stuff like, if you want to talk to me, I'm right here. I'll be doing my thing, and you can feel free to interrupt me anytime, and just talk to me. What's the deal with that? To what degree are we aware of God? Uh, I wish everybody could start with retirement first, don't you? But we also want to feel like we're doing valuable things for this world, whether it's physical labor or technology or helping a business or whatever it is. Uh, but for those that are people of faith and really digging in, some want to be really involved with sharing their faith and being showing the glory of God at all times. More important than showing the glory of God all the time, which is the second commandment, is to be in the glory of God, or to be in God's presence and intimate interaction with Him. I can't think of two better words than intimate interaction. Intimate because that means the interaction that's taking place is to its deepest, most critical, specific points, to where revelation from God is flowing into you. You sense His glory, whether it's the overwhelming physical presence of God, soaking, saturating, overwhelming you. Just welcome Him in right now. Holy Spirit, come on in. Just be in my body, be in my mind and my emotions. Overwhelm me and bring your peace to my body. Bring your stress-free presence. You're welcome. And then as we stay in that presence, that we're listening for anything from words of knowledge, word of wisdom, word of prophecy. Some people go like, yeah, those three things. So let's talk about them. When you can know something that you weren't there to know, the presence of the Spirit of God was there and knew the source of it, the reason for it, and the exact activities, and can reveal it to your spirit because the Holy Spirit lives in you. What about if He can tell you exactly how to respond, or even in the future, what would be best for your response? These are like word of knowledge, word of wisdom, word of prophecy. What about God giving you the strength, the power, the impetus to step up and serve, bring something to somebody, or give materially? It might be finances, it might be, it could be gift cards, it could be buy a car for somebody. I'm just kidding. But God could call you up to bat in a certain situation He's making you aware of. I've heard about people recently that they just heard God tell them, I need to adopt a child. I need to adopt that child, etc. So I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying, are you prepared to respond to the voice of God, or have you already decided, no, God, you don't get to tell me that? And the serving part again is a overflow from the worship part. So if we're worshiping, if we have a continual mindset of placing worth on God, of honoring Him, of valuing Him, of blessing God, of saying He's worthy of every moment of your day. I wonder if you do that. Do you say you're worthy of every moment of my day and then act on it? And if you have a moment where you're separated from God just for a brief moment, then you return to Him quickly because it's just your nature. A couple of the books that I'm reading deal with that, just turning right back to God. You don't have to make a big deal out of it and say like, nah, I'm going to hold on to the flesh for a while longer. Because we want to hold on to the flesh longer when we're not under the submission to God. Why would we be under submission to God? Because submission to the things in this world have been really difficult. Things we didn't want to do. I did not necessarily enjoy working for Duval County School Board for 40 years because sometimes there were some very oppressive things that were taking place. My faith was one thing, and the expectations of Duval County School Board was something different. The expectations of the students and the parents, even something yet different. So how did that all work together? Well, there was a lot of stress. and I didn't want to be submitted to that. But I did want to provide for my family, so we stuck with it. If you're asking me if I support the Duval County School Board and their stances on things, no, no. I'd get your kids out of there as soon as you can. There's plenty of other schools that are just as bad or worse, but then there's some schools that are really cool. The last school I worked at, I won't mention Cornerstone Classical Academy's name, was pretty close to a Christian school, and though not perfect, I would say 97% of the kids were awesome. I really appreciate even more, even though they struggle sometimes, the school system that my son is under. It's homeschool, so that's not for everybody because sometimes people got to work. But we can research it and talk a little bit more about where we send each one of our kids because we're supposed to know our kids that well. How do we know our kids that well? We're spending time under the spout where God's glory comes out. We're listening to God. And we're hearing from him because he wants to express himself in a manner where you go like, oh, that applies specifically to my spouse, my friend, my children. And he can give you that expressed character of himself, that wisdom, and that strength to respond to him. I hope this makes sense.